Hey Cass, what's happening? It's another scorcher here in Northeast Ohio. Actually humid and hot and sticky. They're talking about some thunderstorms coming in today, but I don't know, there's some big clouds up there that are a little gray, but they don't look like thunder clouds yet. Yesterday I took you around and showed you some of my junk collections that I have. Piles of lumber and stuff that I've collected over the years. Pine cones, a bunch of other oddball stuff. You know, you wonder, why do we save all this stuff? You ask yourself. And then, like I said, you wonder what's going to happen someday when you're dead and gone and your loved ones have to clean up the mess. And they'll be going, what in the world did he save all this stuff for? I thought I'd take you around and show you some of the stuff that I've actually done. The stuff that I've made out of some of the junk that I've collected. So I'll give you a little tour and show you just what I've been up to over the years with all of this stuff. Now you may find this one a little odd. You may find it a little morbid. It's actually made out of bones. This is a set of hip bones from a deer. And then on sinew string there are the vertebrae that actually make a clacking wind chime. So it's been there for many years, and it kind of fits the decor of this log house. How about this old cow skull that I collected many years ago? Painted a bear paw on it with some red paint, and it's been hanging up there for years. Now I've decorated the corner of the house with just some odd things I found. This old twisted vine that's like a piece of driftwood. An old piece of a harness. A goat skull. A horseshoe. Yeah, some more of my Itchymoche collections. Here's a coffee table that I made out of logs for the legs. Some pieces of scrap lumber that I had, and some old tile that I was able to cut and glue in there and grout in, and it made us a nice big coffee table for the living room. Very heavy duty thing. I cut the tiles and grouted them in to look like a pine tree. Try to do like an Indian mosaic on there. Yesterday I showed you some old barn beams in the basement that I'd collected, and this one in particular was saved for the fireplace mantle. And one of the cutoff ends from the hand-hewed beam I was able to make a bench out of. So kind of like a little milking bench there. It's got all the hand hew marks on it. It even has the mortise joint still in the middle there. And it gets used a lot. A lot of people have sat their tails on that thing. This end table I made out of wormy chestnut that I salvaged from an old barn. You'll see that the chestnut has a very nice rich color, and it has all the wormholes in it. It's very specific character of the wormy chestnut, and you can't find it anymore. It's a very valuable wood. But I was able to use those scrap pieces that somebody would have thrown on the fire and burned, and made this beautiful little end table out of it. And then you'll remember my wine bottle collection in the basement. And there you go. It's a wine bottle lamp that I had created. And I like to sell these at the craft show. It's kind of a fun project to work on. Very sparkly, very pretty. Again, you'll see where I used the pieces of birch to make a picture frame. And this is kind of an interesting thing. It's kind of a picture frame, but it was a knot out of a tree. And the picture in there, yeah, that's me sitting by the campfire. Oh, I gotta show you this while I'm here. Yeah, that's me too. I was actually at a buckskinner event, and that was my getup. Cooking over the fire. And it's a little foggy out that day. And this is what we call a sofa table. Again, this was made out of some scrap wood that I salvaged from a barn. And I tried to make it old school style with the mortise and tenon joints. Kind of rustic like. Now this one's pretty well worse for the wear and tear because the raccoons have torn it up. But I made this birdhouse, so the post that it's on, it mounts to the handrail there. The post was an old worn out piece of driftwood, and then I made like a little treehouse type birdhouse on top of there. And I used to have a ladder going up the side. I used to have grapevine around there, and like I said, the raccoons just really, they loved it. The squirrels loved it too. The squirrels chewed a big hole in it and actually had a nest in there. Even though it was called the Bluebird Getaway, that didn't last very long. I threw together this cat tree that kind of goes all the way around the picture window. And that I had pieces of scrap carpet, and you can see I put some rope around the sides of it. I used some branches from outside to support the pads, and I offset them so that the cats can bloop, bloop, bloop all the way up to the top. And then the soffit, they can actually go across, all the way across the top to the other side, and they can go down the cat tree on that side. Now I had showed you my box of feathers, and you wondered what did I do with feathers. Well, I made this Indian mandala, and it's full of different type turkey feathers, some leather, it's tails, ermine, and more feathers. And that's hanging up on the beam in our living room. Been there for many years. Now this was one of my more industrious projects. Actually, there's two here I'll show you. The first one I want you to see is the bed. This is a poster bed, and it's made out of logs. And I built it in the basement. It has a ladder top and a ladder bottom. My wife has a sheepskin over the bottom here, but all of the joints are mortised together, and you'll see it has you know, like a ladder rail all across the bottom, and again a ladder rail behind the pillows there across the top. And it's a pretty sturdy bed. There's no creaking or squeaking. It's very solid. Now, you notice this steamer trunk at the bottom of the bed. When I brought this thing home, it smelled like mouse pee, and it was filthy dirty, and everybody said, what in the world do you want that thing for? Well, I was able to take it, put it in my shop, and worked on it religiously for months. Sanded all the wood, painted it, treated all of the wood, got all of the smells out of it. It smells like brand new now. Put new leather handles on it. Put everything back to original. And my wife keeps all of her craft knitting stuff in there now. So that thing works out pretty good. So there you go. That's some of my biggest projects that I've put together, just from hoarding stuff, collecting stuff, making stuff for little to nothing. That's what I like to do. Kind of an artiste. So there you go. There's some of the things that I've created out of nothing. I like to be creative. This guy here, I didn't make him. We bought him. Actually had a guy carve him with a chainsaw for us, and he did a real bang-up job for a pretty good price too. So we couldn't pass that one up. So we bought the old bear. He guards the front door for us. I don't have a name for him, but I don't know. Smokey's kind of wore out. We got a cat called Smokey anyways, so Smokey the Bear now. Got to come up with a better name than that. But there you go. So, there's a method to me saving all this junk, saving all this lumber, saving my feathers and my pine cones. And I got rid of the tractor that had all the bumper stickers on it, so I couldn't show you what I do with bumper stickers. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the videos, subscribe. And thanks for watching. Until next time, you know what I say. Ride hard, die free.